vacation.
Grand rising, everyone. I'm joining you live this morning from sunny Florida.
Yeah, you can't tell with her background, but can sure tell with her attire.
Yeah, I've got a wet bathing suit on underneath.
That's
Anyways,
so fun. Yay for you being out in sunny Florida. And, we'll be coming from a different location next week, too. And potentially the week after.
okay, give me 2 seconds here. I'm gonna
Sure.
do the thing where we might get feedback.
Okay, do the thing. I am just going to greet and welcome everybody. We are all in alignment with Anita A., Cheryl V., your stress reduction gurus, and we love hopping on our Facebook Lives every Friday morning at
Welcome.
9:30 Mountain Time. And our theme every week is different. Excuse me. Because we get our topic or topics from the Personal Paradise card deck, the Feng Shui Personal Paradise card deck by Tara Catherine Collins. And I have to tell you, no two episodes are ever alike. It's
Nope.
always based on our energy, the energy of the collective, which is always entertaining for me. So, anyway, I have one card out. Did you want to start with it and talk about it first, Anita? Or do we want to?
Whatever your
Okay, well, I think it's entertaining because I'm going to show you and Anita will chuckle. She'll know why. I'm going to show you the picture side of the card first. Okay? Note the window in the door, the yin yang symbol.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So this is card number 16, Symbols of Welcome. So Anita, I'm curious, what was the first thing that you were welcomed by where you're staying in Florida? Do you remember what stood out to you when you walked into the place where you're staying?
There's absolutely no symbol of welcome. None.
So it was kind of,
Yeah, kind of boring. Other than, well, okay, so it's kind of a weird setup. So there's kind of like a little hallway entryway,
mm-hmm,
and then there's two doors because there's two suites, kind of.
right.
So I guess when you open the door to this suite, then yes, on the wall, there's a big picture of some kind of a bird. Looks like a mallard duck or something.
Okay.
Yeah, so that would have been a symbol of welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah.
Okay. And because you're obviously renting wherever you're staying, and how does the energy feel in there? Like, for anybody who's traveling, this is a really good conversation to have.
Well, I had to rearrange some of the furniture
Of course you did.
because it was not in flow.
Yeah.
For example, in the bigger suite, there's a big table and four big clunky chairs. And when you walked in, they actually had it on an angle so that you're walking right into the table.
Oh.
Yeah. And it was just like, okay, yeah. So I moved it and way better flow.
Mm-hmm. Instant.
Instant. I do have to say that I have not had a great sleep this whole week
Mm-hmm.
because the head of the bed is facing south,
Oh.
and I've been dreaming stupid dreams every night. And if there was a way I could have moved the bed, trust me, I
I
would
would
have.
have.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know if a person could ask, before you book a place. So, could you tell me which
Direction the head of the bed faces?
the bed faces? Because
We might need to do that for next week.
yeah, it certainly has not been a great sleep. But the other master suite, the bed is facing north. So, my son and his wife, I'm sure, had a great sleep.
Well, and that's a good thing. They've got the little ones there too. So, all right.
Mhm.
Well, we've had, excuse me, two other cards come out. Number 53, knowledge and self cultivation. And number 25, this is loud and clear for me, getting organized.
Mm.
So I know exactly why this card came out today. Um, as we get organized for next week, my brain is just going, and what about this little detail? And what about this little detail?
Yep.
It was just gone.
Okay, just breathe, relax.
I've done that multiple times, and I'm messaging Anita, I don't know, 3 or 4 times this morning already.
We can stretch time.
Yes, I need to stretch time.
All in divine time.
It is.
That's the
It is.
mantra for the day. All in divine time.
So it's really entertaining because I'm seeing the cards came out when you total them individually is a 7, an 8, and a 7. I thought, huh, that's
That
a
adds up
22.
to 22.
Yeah. But so let's talk a little bit about, and I think getting organized is an important one because obviously you're on holidays with your family. There had to be some organizing in place for all of that to happen. You and I, next week take off. We're gone for a week. There kind of needs to be some organizing in place. So that all flows smoothly.
Well, 100%. And in that organizing, is leaving the house uh, completely clean,
Yes.
right? So when I come home, my house is completely clean. There's no residual laundry to do from when
You
whatever.
ready?
So, and I know you're the same way. So you
Yes.
get organized before you travel, in that everything in the house is done and caught up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really so important because energetically, then there's no kind of loose strings or loose ties. And you will find that when you travel, that everything will flow boom, 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 just beautifully, right? But
Smoothly.
if you leave your home in a chaos, you've thrown clothes on the bed and decided to pack half of them, and then, oh, I'm going to leave those till I get home. And then maybe you did the dishes, but you left them drying in the sink, or, all kinds of things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then
Mm-hmm.
you get home, that's just unfinished stuff, and it's just causes anxiety,
Mm-hmm.
and then it also causes anxiety on the way when you're traveling. It's like, oh, did I remember to do this? Did I remember to do that? So I know Cheryl and I both are great list makers,
Mm-hmm.
and so then it makes it easy, right? You
Yes.
just a couple of weeks or a month or however long it takes before you're traveling somewhere, make yourself a list, and then just as you're getting ready, check all of those things off. Because really, what's the sense of going on a holiday or going
Mm-hmm.
away if you're stressed about all of
Agreed.
the things that are going on at home, and what did I forget to do? What blah blah blah, right?
Yeah.
It's just a whole bunch of mind chatter that you don't need. So that kind of ties into knowledge and self-cultivation.
Exactly.
Uh, but it's also knowledge and self-cultivation is all about, that area in our home, which is to the left of your front entrance.
Mm-hmm.
What is going on in there if you're looking to expand
Mm-hmm.
your personal knowledge? So maybe you're going away on a retreat. Maybe you're
Great.
going away on a speaking tour, a book signing, something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So again, important for that knowledge and self-cultivation area of the home to be supported energetically, meaning to have it, decluttered, cleaned up, And you can even, anchor the energy
Hmm.
by placing an item that has symbolism for whatever mind expansion that you're doing.
Exactly, exactly. I love that. So with those two, I mean, knowledge, I liken it to awareness. So the first step in shifting anything is awareness. And that's where your knowledge actually starts. When you receive that awareness or that holy shift moment, like we're talking about. And getting organized is so helpful in all of that. Because, and I want to tie this all back, I just had this visual, the symbols of welcome. When you come home and you have left chaos, guess what your symbol of welcome is when you get home? It's all that chaos. After you've been traveling, do you really want to come home to chaos? Or would you rather come home to a welcoming environment that's clean? And yeah, maybe the air hasn't been moving a whole lot, so it might feel a little stuffy, especially if it's been hot and temperature variable, yada, 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 and how long you've been gone. But knowing that the space itself is welcoming is, I can't wait to get home.
Mm-hmm.
So,
100%.
again, going back to that knowledge and the getting organized and blending all three of these together. Now, when you're traveling and some of your family is staying behind, like next week, Anita's husband's behind, mine is behind. The house is going to be what the house is going to be when we get home. It's just that simple. They're still living. They're still going through and doing things and living their life. And I know Rod will be working and Calvin will be doing things and lots is still continuing on. But when it's the both of you traveling or your entire family traveling is when we're really specifically talking about leaving it clean and organized and calm. So when you all get home, that's what you're being welcomed with.
Mm-hmm.
I will be welcomed with whatever I'm welcomed with, but for the most part, our house is fairly neat, tidy, and organized anyway, so I'm not concerned about it.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's the getting organized so that when we travel, I've brought everything I'm supposed to bring.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the biggest keys for me. This morning it was like, I forgot to order blah, 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 blah for the event. Oh, I still have to send an email to this person before the event. So that's all part and parcel of me getting myself organized for our traveling. Do we want to talk a little bit about where we're going and why we're going?
Sure. We are going to a Gather-rama in Salt Lake City
Hmm.
for a speaking event.
Yes.
And yeah, anybody, if you are in Salt Lake City, you know of anybody,
Hmm.
um, there are tickets. You can come and join. It's going to be fantastic. Maybe we'll
It
pop a
is.
little something in there later.
Hmm.
I'll let you all know about that. Hmm.
Um, it looks like you're reading. Did you have someone that had a question or a comment?
Yeah, no, I was just looking through the chats here,
Okay.
um, what everybody was saying. Yeah,
Anything
getting
we need
there.
to address before we
Oh,
continue on?
no,
No?
just
Okay.
comments on what we were talking about.
Awesome. Well, good morning to all of you that are joining us on live. And thank you for watching the replay for those of you that are watching the replay, whether it's here on Facebook or on YouTube. So I want to go back to Gatherama a little bit. This speaking opportunity is very unique in that it's being held at the historic Capitol Theater in Salt Lake City. And if you want to talk unique, this is an old, well, it's historic theater, and it has put on, or they've held productions there for decades. This is literally the largest stage so far that Anita and I will be presenting on, amongst other presenters. And there's 6 different events happening at this. So there's the daytime event and evening event, daytime event, evening event, daytime event, evening event over 3 days next week. And it is going to be a blast, but we get the opportunity to connect with speakers, athletes, celebrities from all over and have an impact in fundraising for some Ignite Schools of Hope. The principle behind all of this is to fundraise. So it's so exciting for us that we get to, and I don't even want to say rub shoulders with, we will be working with, likely hugging and communicating with people we normally would not have had the opportunity to meet. I'm very excited about this. And one of the keynote speakers that I've had some connection with so far, I'll have more with, her story is phenomenal. And she is from Salt Lake, the Salt Lake City area. And her name is Sarah Foley.
I'll be right back. Go
Okay. Sarah is known as Vertical Blonde and has quite the unique story that she and her fiance at the time were out on quads up in the mountains someplace. And there was a quad accident. And from that accident, she was paralyzed. But that did not stop her. And she goes by Vertical Blonde because it's not about whether you're physically standing. It's whether or not you're still going up. It's whether or not you're still expanding your knowledge, your self-cultivation, and whether or not you're still sharing your wisdom for others to inspire them. So I'm very, very excited to hear and meet and get to know Sarah Foley a little bit, listen to her story a little closer. And she's only one of the speakers that is a keynote. There's also James Lawrence, who has done 50 triathlons in 50 days in 50 states. There's been documentaries about James Lawrence. Like, can you imagine? I can't. So he's another keynote speaker. Some of the celebrities that are part of the fireside chat are the musical group The Heels. 3 women, and you need to hear some of their music. Oh my goodness. I'm excited. So as you can see, it's easy to get excited about what's coming up, but we need to ground and be present to get organized and get prepared for all of this.
Mm-hmm.
So we can make those connections and enjoy the moments while they're happening instead of projecting into the next thing that we need to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's where getting organized for me is coming into play.
Yeah, that and and I mean the cards, always
Always.
are perfect because it is that knowledge and cultivation,
Mhm.
and it's about always expanding. Where are there opportunities in your life that you can
Absolutely.
say yes to that are going to expand your awareness, that are
Hmm.
going to bring you into, some other divine orchestration, right? Organization is kind of about that too, because
Absolutely.
if things are not organized in your life, those other things, have a little bit of trouble coming
Hmm.
in to, act as those symbols of welcome, right?
Absolutely.
Hmm. So,
Imagine symbols of welcome like a big hug. For those
right.
of you that like hugs, I'm a hugger. So someone going, come here, I'm all in for that. I like hugs. That's just a personal connection. That's for me. But it really is true. The symbol of welcome can come in so many forms. And when you're organized and when you have the knowledge to be prepared in advance, that symbol of welcome is even that much more inviting. It's almost like the flavor of the food tastes that much better.
Hmm.
The ambiance feels so much better. The aromas that are around you just, it's heightening of your senses, I think, almost.
Hmm. Yeah, so just, be aware over this Canadian long weekend,
Mm-hmm.
you're out and about, and if you're popping into somebody's home or you're popping into a restaurant or a store or something, just, put on your feng shui eyes and just
Mm-hmm.
see what is welcoming you, right? What symbols of welcome are out there, and or quite often you may find some symbols of, don't
Yes.
come in here, do not enter. There's a sign on the fence across the road that says, do not enter alligators. Yeah, that's a symbol, right? That's a symbol of welcome. That's like a do not go there.
Don't come here. It's too funny because Zoom is, Zoom. You raised your hand and your hand's up.
Oh,
Um,
mhm.
whatever. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, completely and totally. And symbols of welcome aren't just visual. And that's why I wanted to bring up the senses a little bit. Think about when you've walked by a coffee shop and the aroma of that coffee either pulls you in, or you've walked by a bakery and that aroma pulls you in. Those are symbols of welcome as well. I've also gone by a place where the popcorn was forgotten and it's burnt. And that is also a symbol of welcome, but it's not a very pleasant one. And that sticks in your mind as well.
I just have to read. Danielle is joining us from BC, and she said, getting organized to me is cleaning and organizing our home and welcoming for our guests.
Mm-hmm.
Also, our house is listed on the market, and our realtor shared the stats on the viewers is really high. So, to get our home organized for the buyers, absolutely so important.
100%.
But I also want to just add into that, Danielle, for you, that symbols of welcome for you in your
Mm-hmm.
home could somehow somewhat be offensive to buyers. So, for example, I worked with a client during COVID where her husband had been he was locked in overseas and couldn't get home. She had to manage, well, it was just, it was very
Stressful.
stressful time.
Mm-hmm.
They had their house on the market. And so she called me and I came in and it was very organized. It was very clean, you know, those kind of things. But there were a few areas in the home where they had some of their religious symbols.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And those would not be everybody's cup of tea,
Choice.
right? Choice. And so I suggested to her that she remove them down. Like, yes, you're going to need to be packing those away anyways, but you
Mm-hmm.
want to kind of have your home a little bit
Neutral.
neutral when it comes to symbols of welcome. Because
Situationally. Yeah.
not everybody's going to have the same kind of taste. Or if you see one of those, one of those silly sayings on a wood thing, then you think it's funny, but I might think it's offensive,
Mm-hmm.
right? So just keep it very neutral in your case when you are looking to sell your home.
Mm.
Very, very important. So
I love that. I love that.
after helping that client,
Mm-hmm.
within 2 days, they had two offers, and one of them was over the asking price. And this was in COVID,
Yeah,
people.
that's fantastic. That's fantastic. And it's creating that environment. As you're talking about that, we have our Her Inspired Journey Women's Wellness Weekend coming up September 13th, 14th. And we've been working with a coach, shout out to Kathy, because she keeps reminding us when you're doing work with sponsors or you're looking for sponsorship, it's about them. It's not about you. So it's your verbiage, yes, but how does that benefit them? So your home buyer analogy is the perfect analogy when it comes to creating anything, whether it's your website, whether it's a books maybe, but maybe not because that's can be quite personal, but selling your home. If you're in business, it's about your clients, it's about your customers. And what is it for them? Like what do they want to get out of this?
Mhm.
So it's no different in the analogy of what you were talking about. Same with our sponsorship packages. We think this is fantastic, but
Yep.
a representative from a bank might go, so what?
Yep. What's in it for
What's
me?
in it for me?
Buyer, right? The buyer.
Yeah. So when
Yeah.
you're showcasing your home like that, that's one way of looking at things.
100%.
Can't
Yeah.
believe we're at the top of the hour already here. Just
Yes, we
about.
are. Okay, we got number 22, and I kind of
We
know that
do.
that's a master number.
You kind of
Partner
know that, do you? So
foundation. Let's see what Adironda has
at
to say.
Adironda, so I always refer to the double digitology book, Marilyn Harper Joy Roby, up
Can
here.
we tell them?
Pardon
Adironda
me?
is coming.
Absolutely.
Adironda is coming to our in-person live event September 13, 14, Red Deer, Alberta. She is one of our keynote, we call them keynotes? No,
No.
she's one of our beautiful speaker presenters, and she's going to be doing
And
a special Saturday evening event. She is coming, yeah, she's coming all the way from where the heck is she?
Branson, Missouri.
Missouri. And
Missouri.
so, yeah, Adironda coming to our event.
All right. So, according to the double digitology book, the 2-2 takes all the energy of cooperation, of being supported, responsive, and adaptable to their environment and magnifies it to create what we know as the master builder.
Mhm.
Yes, the 2-2 is the definitive master builder. The 2-2 also magnifies the divine partnership. Her and I.
Mm.
With the world, in your love relationships, with your friends, with your enemies, partnering with a project that you are working with. It helps you build your way through with a strong foundation. And if you want to learn more, buy your own book on Amazon or on their website. Or maybe Marilyn will have them there live and you can get her autograph.
I think we'll have to put that in her little
We'll,
bonnet.
we'll put that little bonnet, that little buzz in her bonnet. Absolutely. I love that it's the 2-2, and that 2 is written with a very solid foundation. And I firmly believe, this is my belief, that organization is part of your foundation.
100%. Yes.
I think it needs to be.
Great cards tallying it up. That number just totally fits in
Of
with
course.
the theme of the cards, as it always does, because we are divinely guided as always. So yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Yes.
I'm gonna go get a couple more hours of pool time before it's time to head back home, and we'll see you all next Friday.
Friday. Watch the posts in case we have to have a time change. Just be on alert, as we're not sure what next Friday looks like. Just
Never
yet.
know.
But we'll
Divine
get
timing.
organized. Have a great week, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Bye bye.